Welcome back to Learning Japanese with AI. Let's start with a short overview of what awaits us this time. First, I will quickly list all the vocabulary and kanji, and then we'll elaborate on some grammatical rules, including masho versus masenka, place plus position, counting system, weekdays, and a short note to the Japanese currency. Before we start, let me know that I'm neither a teacher nor linguist, so please keep this in mind while watching this video. First, here is a list of the vocabulary of these 2 weeks, and here are the kanji. If you want to hear the pronunciation for each one, check out my shorts from the last 2 weeks, I will link them at the end. They cover every single word in detail. First question of this video is, what is the kanji for mountain? Kawasen, B, Yamasan, or C, Moku? The answer is B, Yamasan. For the grammar part, let's start with masenka versus masho. Masenka and masho both are used to ask someone else if they want to do something together with you. First, masenka. Masenka is used to indicate a polite suggestion. Let's look at the example, Ocha o nomimasenka, which translates to, would you like to drink tea? It's typically used in a formal setting, for example when you direct a question towards an elder or co-worker. Imasho, on the other hand, has a more demanding connotation. Ocha o nomimasho would translate to, let's drink tea. As you can see, it translates as an exclamation instead of a question, making it more direct and giving less room for refusal. It's generally used between close acquaintances and friends. Masenka and masho both are conjugations of the verb suffix masu. The second question would be, when you want to make a polite suggestion, use A, masho, or B, masenka. The answer is B, masenka. Next would be the sentence structure, including a place and a position. First, let's define what position means in this context. Position refers to where something, in our example the cat, is located in relation to another close place or object, in this case the car. So far we learned shita, under, ue, above, ushiro, behind, and mai, in front. When expressing the position, you need to use ni in order to signal which object is in said position. In our case, for example, it would be ue ni neko ga imasu, the cat is above. Place in this case refers to either an actual location, like a city or school, or an item, like a table, chair, or car. To express that something is at a place, you use place plus no. For example, kuruma no neko, which translates to the car's cat or the cat of the car. So the cat belongs to the car. Now to say where the cat is located in relation to the car, it is attached to, you first mention the place and then the exact position. Making it, for our example, kuruma no shita ni neko ga imasu. The cat is under the car. So place plus no plus position plus ni plus noun plus ga plus imasu. Next question would be, is the position or the place mentioned first when something is above something else? A, place, or B, position? The answer is A, position. Next, let's discuss the Japanese counting system. First, when counting, you differentiate between items and objects, or people. When counting items, like apples, you add a suffix tsu. Here you can see for apples, which would be yotsu no ringo. When counting items, you use the kun reading of the number kanji, for example hito, 1, futa, 2, and mitsu, 3. When counting people, you use the suffix nin, which uses the kanji for human or person. Unlike the items, you use the on reading of kanji when counting people. So for example, sanin would be 3 people. Now, unfortunately, there are some irregulars. For items, the number 10 entirely drops the thu. So when saying 10 apples in Japanese, it would be to ringo. For people, the first 2 numbers are unique as they are remnants of the original Chinese influence. So instead of saying nin, you use ri. So both spellings use the same kanji. You also use the kun readings instead of the on readings for those 2 kanjis, making it hitori and futori instead of ichinin and ninin. Now, how bigger numbers are created, they make use of multiplication and addition, though in a far more structured and sensical way than the French language, for example. Essentially, decimals and upwards are multiplied, while numbers from 1 to 9 are added if necessary. So for example, 25 would be ni chu go in Japanese, 2 times 10 plus 5. And 245 would be ni yaku yonchu go, 2 times 100 plus 4 times 10 plus 5. Next question would be, nin is used to count A, people, or B, items. The answer is A, people. The last bigger topic of this video would be the weekdays. Weekdays are formed by using one of 7 elements, plus the kanji for yo and the kanji bi. Yo translates to day of the week, while bi is an alternate pronunciation for he, meaning day or sun. So if you literally translate yobi, it would be day of the weekday. which kinda sounds a bit redundant, right? The reason for this lies within its Chinese origin. The yo itself is a compound kanji combining he with another kanji, which visually represents feathers flying freely away from a bird. This is a metaphorical interpretation for the 7 luminaries. The 7 luminaries historically refer to 7 always moving lights in the sky, unlike the stationary stars. With modern knowledge, we now know that those lights are the sun and the moon, and 5 planets of our solar system that can occasionally be observed. At the time, those 5 lights also got attributed with certain elements, depending on how and when they appeared. For example, Mars was attributed with fire, as its light always appeared a bit reddish and reminded the people of the fiery and hot summers. This is also where the elements from the weekdays come from, as they too cross-reference to 7 luminaries. For the elements, use the on-reading of the kanji to form your specific day. For example, Wednesday would be Suyobi. Last question for this video would be, Kinyobi is which weekday? A. Monday, B. Sunday, or C. Friday? The answer is C. Friday. Last but not least, a short note to the Japanese currency. Internationally, we tend to call it yen, even though it is actually en, so without a y. This mix-up happened because of the early Portuguese settlers mishearing and mispronouncing the n. So it is not 4 yen, but instead yon en. The kanji itself means circle or round, referring to the form of the coins. With that, we have reached the end for this video. One last thing I wanted to say is that I switched from ChatGPT to Gemini for this experiment because of a multitude of reasons, including a lot of technical issues I had with ChatGPT, which Gemini has avoided so far. So we will see how that goes. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.